Hello everyone, this is Deepak Gupta logging on this platform of College Dekho Learn on YouTube, and in this series of free sessions on YouTube we are today continuing the topic from management accounting, the cash budget. So effectively this topic cash budget can be a useful concept for both the budgetary control chapter from the subject management accounting and the management of cash from the financial management paper. So this is a unique concept which is important for both the papers, and normally we see this question primarily in financial management but also in the management accounting paper. So what this cash budget is actually all about, that it is an estimation of the inflows and outflows of cash, and not the profit, not the revenues, but the cash. So it is a estimation of a particular period in advance from where the inflows will be from of cash and where the cash will be paid for. So such estimations of cash help in cash management. So as per the Mommel's model, there has to be an optimum cash balance so that there is never a shortage nor the excess of cash. Because normally, if there is cash shortage, then in spite of you being highly profitable, you may not have the requisite liquidity to pay off your liabilities. And vice versa, if there is excess cash in your books or in your pocket, then you are losing financially. That is the interest. There will always be the opportunity cost. So to support this concept of internal management of cash, so in addition to the optimum cash model, we also make an estimation of inflows and outflows of cash through this concept of cash budget. So we will be stressing on this topic cash budget, not theoretically but through a question, because that will help you understand this topic better. So if you see this question here, there is a question or a requirement of preparing cash budget for the period from January to March. So it implies that you can always make a budget for 1 month, 3 month, half year, quarter, whatever. So in this case, it is a period of 5 months, and there is a forecast. So I just said that there will be on estimated basis. So there is an estimation from January to July. So these figures from January to July are all estimated, and to supplement those, there are past figures of November and December. So these are the past figures which may support the estimation of cash. And out of this total sales data, how much is the cash sales and how much is the credit sale is been given. And if it is on credit, the credit period is 2 months. The expenditures, so the sale will denote the revenues, but because the sales is also on credit, so we will have the funda of cash sales and the collection from debtors. Similarly, these variable expenditures, that is the outflow, are in lag. So there will be cash outflows though lagged. Similarly, the commission will be an outflow, the purchases will be an outflow, but because the payment is made 2 months after purchases and no purchases cash, so we will only have the payment to creditors. So we will only have payment to creditors, and unlike the cash sales, there won't be any cash purchases. Similarly, we have this rent which is an outflow, other payments are obviously outflow, and the opening cash balance. It denotes that because the budget is to be prepared for the period from January to May, therefore this cash balance is as on 1st January. So when we make this cash budget, there is a specific format. So I just focus on this format. So if we go for the solution, so this will be a cash budget for the period January to May. So we will have one column that will be known as particulars, and the other columns will depend on the number of months for which the budget is being prepared. So because it is for 5 months, so we will have 5 columns of January, February, March, April and May. Then we will have the concept of opening balance, which will be, so this cash will be supplemented by various inflows. So the primary inflows will either be cash sales or the collection from debtors. We can also have inflows from the sale of cash or any other contingent item as provided in the question. Now, after all the inflows are made, counted for, we will have this concept of total inflows, which will be available for disbursement. So all outflows will be deducted. So they can be cash purchases, which is not in the question, but ideally it can be cash purchases or payment to the creditors. So from debtors, it is the collection, and for creditors, it is the payment, and all other outflow will be as provided in the question. And once all those outflows are deducted, then we will have this concept of closing balance. And this closing balance of first month, that is January, will become the opening balance of February, and so on. So this is just a layman's tentative version. The figures may change as per the data given, and the contents can also be adapted. So if I see from here that the sales of the January is 1,60,000 and it is 20% cash, it means, so before that we have to write the January's opening balance, and because the January sales is 1,60,000 and 20% is on cash, so cash sales will be 32,000. And because the credit is for 2 months, it means out of the total sales of 160, 32 is in the collection in the month of January, and because it's a 2-month credit, so the balance of 128 will be collected as debtors in the month of March. So it is basically 80% of 160. Similarly, if we will go to February, the sales is 2 lakhs. So it will be 40,000 cash sales in February, and this balance 160 will come in April. That is 80% of 2 lakhs. Similarly, the sales of March is 160 again. So again 160,000 ka 20% will be the cash sales, and the balance 128 will be collected in May. Now if we go to April, the figure of sales is again 2 lakhs, so 40,000 here, and the balance of 160 will be collected in June, but that is not a part of our budget period, so we are not counting it here. Similarly, in the case of May, the sales is 180, so the 20% will be 36,000, and the balance will be counted in the month of July. That is not a part of budget period, so ignored. So if we see here, we have these 5 columns filled with the cash sales and 3 columns filled with March, April and May, that corresponds to the credit sales of January, February and March. But this collection of debtors from January and February will also not remain vacant, because the sales of November will be collected in January and the sales of December will be collected in February, and the collection will be 80%. It means the sale of November, that is 160, and out of this the 80%, that is 128, is collected as debtors in January. And if we go for the December sale, the figure is 140. The 140 ka 80%, that is 1,12,000. So this is 80% of 180, and this is 80% of 160. That is the November sales. This was 80% of 2 lakhs. This was 80% of 160. Now if we see here, except sales, variable expenditures, commission, purchases, rent, other payments, they all are payments. So in this question, there is no other inflow, or we should say there is no sale of asset, neither there is any other contingent received, and therefore the total will denote the figure of total inflows. So this 50 plus this 132 plus 128 will become 2 lakh 10. Here I am not writing because the closing balance of January will become the opening balance of February, and only after that we can calculate the total inflows. So just to cover up the January month, to calculate the closing balance, now we go to the payment part. So as they say, variable expenses are in a time lag of half month. So it denotes that 50% of the variable expenditures will be paid in the same month, and balance 50% will be paid in the subsequent month. So we will have this first payment of variable expenses, which is 5%. तो जनवरी की सेल का 1,60,000 का 5% 8,000 बनता है. तो ये वेरिएबल एक्सपेंस दो तरीके से पे हुए, एक तो सेम मंथ में पे हुए और एक नेक्स्ट मंथ में पे हुए. तो 160 का 5% 8,000, 4,000 जनवरी में पे होगा, 4,000 फरवरी में पे होगा. सिमिलरली फरवरी की सेल 2 लाख का 5% 10,000, तो 5,000 फरवरी में पे होगा और 5,000 मार्च में पे होगा. नाउ मार्च का 160 है, उसका 5% 8,000, तो उसका आधा 4,000 मार्च में पे होगा और 4,000 अप्रैल में पे होगा. अप्रैल की सेल 2 लाख का 5% 10,000, तो उसका आधा 5,000 अप्रैल में पे होगा और आधा मई में पे होगा. और मई की सेल का 180 का 5% दैट इज 9,000, तो 4,500 यहाँ पे होगा और 4,500 जून में होगा, but that is not a part of our budget period. Similarly, दिसंबर की सेल्स 140 का 5% that is 7,000, 3,500 आधा दिसंबर में पे हुआ होगा और बाकी 3,500 इस महीने पे हो जाएगा. So that is how we have calculated the variable expenses. Similarly, the commission was 5% on credit sales payable in the third month. So the commission is also paid in the third month. यानी कि जनवरी की सेल 160 का कमीशन कितना है हमारे पास 5%, यानी कि 8,000 रुपये, और वो कब पे होगा मार्च में. फरवरी की सेल 2 लाख का 5% 10,000 कब पे होगा अप्रैल में. मार्च की सेल 1,60,000 का 5% 8,000 कब पे होगा मई में. सिमिलरली नवंबर की सेल 160 का 5% 8,000 कब पे होगा जनवरी में, और दिसंबर की सेल 140 का 5% 7,000 कब पे होगा फरवरी. तो हमने 2 महीने का क्रेडिट यानी कि थर्ड मंथ में उसको पे कर दिया. Similarly, purchases, they are 60% of the sales and the credit will be 2 months. तो creditors, that is 2 month की payment. तो जनवरी की सेल 160 का 60% 96,000 मार्च में पे होगा. तो ये कैसे निकला कि हमने जनवरी की सेल 160 का 60% किया, that is 96,000 which is paid in March, and so we will do with all cases. तो फरवरी की सेल 2 लाख का 60% 120 अप्रैल में पे होगा. मार्च की सेल फिर दोबारा से 160 का 60% यहाँ पे होगा, और अप्रैल और मई की परचेजेस यहाँ काउंट नहीं होंगी क्योंकि वो जून और जुलाई में चले जाएंगे. सिमिलरली नवंबर की 160 का 60% यहाँ पे होगा, और दिसंबर के 140 का 60% 84,000 यहाँ पे होगा. तो ये नवंबर की सेल का है, ये दिसंबर की सेल का है, ये जनवरी की सेल का है, ये फरवरी की सेल का है और ये मार्च की सेल का. So that is how all purchases have been paid for. Now the rent is 6,000 per month. No confusion, no problems. So rent सेम मंथ में पे हो रहा है तो 6,000 रुपीज हर मंथ का इफेक्टिव आउटफ्लो बन जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर दैट द अदर पेमेंट्स वर इन February एंड मार्च. तो फरवरी तो यहाँ अदर पेमेंट्स, अप्रैल मतलब जनवरी में कुछ नहीं है, फरवरी में 36,000 है, मार्च में 1 लाख है और अप्रैल में 40,000 है. तो ये कंटीजेंट पेमेंट है, स्पेशल पेमेंट्स हैं जो जब आई तब उसको आउटफ्लो ले लिया और इसके अलावा क्वेश्चन में और कोई आउटफ्लो इनफ्लो नहीं है. तो दिस 210 में से अगर हम ये सारे आउटफ्लो माइनस करेंगे, दैट इज जो 2,10,000 हमारा इनफ्लो था उसमें से 96,000 क्रेडिटर्स के, 4,000 एक, 3,500 एक और 14,000 अगर करेंगे तो 92,500 जो है वो हमारा यहाँ का क्लोजिंग बैलेंस आ जाएगा. ये जो क्लोजिंग बैलेंस है दैट विल बिकम द ओपनिंग बैलेंस ऑफ फेब्रुअरी. तो इस 92,500 में हम लोग प्लस करेंगे 40,000 डेटर्स का और 112 डेटर्स का और 40,000 कैश सेल्स का. तो दिस 244,500 विल बिकम द टोटल इनफ्लो और इसमें से माइनस होंगे 84,000 क्रेडिटर्स के, 5,000 और 4,000 वेरिएबल एक्सपेंसेस के, 7,000 कमीशन के, 6,000 रेंट के और 36,000 जो मिसलेनियस पेमेंट थी. तो दिस विल बी 102,500. This 102,500 will become the opening balance of March. तो इसमें प्लस करेंगे 32,000 कैश सेल्स के और 128 डेटर्स के. सो द टोटल इनफ्लो विल बिकम 262,500 और यहाँ से माइनस किया जाएगा 96,000 परचेजेस के, 4,000 और 5,000 वेरिएबल एक्सपेंसेस के, 8,000 सेल्स कमीशन के, 6,000 रेंट के और 1 लाख जो कंटिजेंट पेमेंट थी. तो दिस विल बी 40. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट कंटिजेंट पेमेंट द क्लोजिंग बैलेंस हैज फॉलन शार्पली, सो विच विल बिकम द ओपनिंग बैलेंस हेयर. यहाँ से आप ये प्लस करेंगे तो दिस विल बी 243,500 और यहाँ से माइनस किया जाएगा 120, 5 और 4 9,000, 10,000 और ये दोनों 46,000. सो द फिगर इज कमिंग आउट टू बी 58,500 and this will now become the closing balance of the last budget month. और उस 58,500 में प्लस किया जाएगा ये दोनों फिगर 160 बढ़ती हैं. सो दिस विल बी 218,500 and from that we will deduct 96,000 one figure, 9,500 वेरिएबल एक्सपेंसेस की हैं और ये 14,000 की फिगर माइनस करेंगे. सो दिस 99,000 विल बी द क्लोजिंग बैलेंस. एंड हेयर this is how we estimate the budget. Now what is it is doing that now we are having an anticipation of how much closing balance you will have each month. So if the company believes that a figure of 50,000 will be sufficient, then in the month of January and February they will deposit the extra cash or they will invest the extra cash, and if the cash falls below the requisite amount then they will take a short term borrowing to maintain the liquidity. So this cash budget not just helps in the estimation but also helps in making a short term investment or short term borrowing decision. So I hope this session was helpful for you to understand the meaning of the concept cash budget.